Price action for the 24th of August 2026. So as usual, we start from the monthly candle. So I cleared everything out. So the first thing we do is to mark our monthly levels, because we are at the monthly level. So the first thing you do on every day is to come from the monthly. Every day you come from the monthly. Every day you come from the monthly. Then every week. So every day you come from the monthly, weekly, and daily. Just try to make that habit, because these levels are your why you always marking these levels, so that you can know your resistance levels and your support levels and everything. Like you can know your take profit levels, and because these ones they always, even as a day trader, or even a swing trader, you just mark these levels. A day trader, swing trader, always come from the day a monthly zone. Very important. So I've marked my monthly zones. We are in the month of August. The next thing to do is to go to the weekly. So if you come to the weekly, we don't have any. The only thing we have now, okay, we have something. We have something on the weekly. We have something on the weekly. This week, can you see this week? Can you see this week? This week was a very high week. So this can also stop price. But I think they are more reacting from this monthly level. But they might if the price is very aggressive, they might want to come over to this level. If the price is very out, yeah, in this week, last week's resistance is a very promising resistance. They might want to come to this weekly resistance, 1.36764. Might want to come to this weekly resistance. This is a very important resistance though. Though these ones are noisy, there are so many. They are depicting the monthly zone. But this one that is very closest to us needs to be washed out. Needs to be looked after. And this will so I think this weekly zone, I think they might want to come here. Want to target that level is more important than even these monthly zones. These monthly zones this weekly zone is very important. Is that a zone that we have to look into. So let's go to the daily. This is how I analyze my chart anytime I want to trade. I start from so if you come to the daily, what do we see? This is the day we are analyzing. We are analyzing this day. This is a new day. We are going to be making entries soon. But this is the day we are analyzing. This is Monday, and this is Friday. Now you can see that Friday made the high of the week. Because this Friday you are seeing this high on Friday made the high of the week. That's Friday. So this Monday came. Can you see this QM? This is what they call head and shoulder. We're having a head and shoulder pattern over here. So if you come here, you see what they call head and shoulder. I'll mark this as B. I would have loved to mark this one also, but this is a weekly high. And this weekly high, and this is what? A head and shoulder pattern. So we've seen what is happening here. This was the high of the week. They would pick up this low. We even opened at this low, showing that during the weekend, we are supposed to open here on Monday, or we opened here. Why did we open here? Because they took out this low. They took out this high and went for this low. The next level we are going to be checking now is this level. This is a monthly zone. If you come to this level, you see that we have a monthly zone just below that daily zone. So if you go to the monthly candle, you will see something. You will see 1.36583. So this is what I was talking about when I was saying about the QM, about the monthly zone. So I think we are going to crash. I don't know. We're not going to crash. Well, let's see. So this is the QM I was talking about. Sorry about the last one. So this is the QM. So now this day will try to target this daily high, or it's try to come in here. So there are two possible positions today. That's for this day, but I'm not analyzing this day. I'm like, this is Tuesday, this is Monday. Friday made the high of the week. That's why you see this weekly candle. So we might crash all the way to this level. Let me mark another level here. Another very important. This open close level is this level. So we might crash this open close level, which is 1.36 at the dot, or We might go to as high as this. Because why am I saying there's a likelihood that we might retest this 1.36599? There's a likelihood we might come to that level because we have a QM here. This guy is providing liquidity to this level. So we might hit that level and crash to this level. So this is what I'm expecting for the maybe next today, which is Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday, or Friday. I'm expecting them to come to this level and crash all the way to this level. That's my projection. Or it might just go directly to this level. Or they might break this level and go all the way to these monthly zones and take out this weekly high. So this is a projection we have for GBPUSD for this week. But that is not our. These are just projections. This high liquidity I'm seeing here, this high liquidity this guy is providing to this week, this day, Monday, is providing to this Thursday, this Thursday high. I'm seeing a very strong liquidity there. Also, this is a monthly zone. So this is the situation we found ourselves. So let's go to the 4 hours. There's nothing. The 4 hours doesn't give us entries. The 4 hours is for swing traders. Let's go to the next thing I'm going to do now is to draw I'm going to be drawing my quantum lines. So that's the next, my institutional levels. That's the next thing I'm going to do because I cannot trade without those institutional levels. So I've marked my monthly zones, I've marked my weekly zones, and I've marked my daily zones. I don't mark 4 hours. 4 hours, there's nothing to mark here. There's so noise. So I mark monthly, daily, and weekly. So the next thing I want to do is to mark my institutional levels. So I'll be doing that shortly. I've marked my institutional lines. My institutional lines is going from 1.36, 1.3625, 1.36 to 1.37 is my institutional, is my quantum level. From 1.36 to 1.37, that's where we are ranging between currently. So I've marked my institutional levels 1.3625, 1.365, 1.3675. So the next thing I'm going to do now is to go to the 1 hour and mark my zones. That's how I'm just trying to show you how I place my trades. So the next thing is I go to 23 o'clock, or 23 o'clock to 23 o'clock. So I'm going to mark my Asian and London zones and also check for news. If there's any news today on Monday, I'm just telling you about Monday, not Tuesday. Tuesday, I'm supposed to be making entries now. So we've marked our zones. This is my zones. This is my London. This is 8 o'clock. This is 7 o'clock. This is 11 o'clock. And this is New York, 12 o'clock. And listen. And I'm using BTC plus 1 time. So now the next thing we are going to do now is to mark our trend lines and see what happened at 7 o'clock. We can see this trend line moving up. You can see this trend line moving up. So this trend line moving up shows you that we are making higher highs. So this is a strong low. Before they take out this low, it might take time. So anytime you see a strong low, always mark a strong low because that strong low shows that market participants will always try to take out that low. But if they are strong enough, they will take it out. If they are not too strong, they will not take it out. But that's a strong low, a low that made a new high, broke it with body closures. So we have that. But if the market is successfully able to take out this low, we'll show ourselves going all the way to this, to 1.36, and might go all the way to this other liquidity. So this is what you need to understand about this trade. So when we broke structure here, so what happened here was we had a kind of a QM structure break here. Can you see this? Higher highs, higher lows, higher highs here. So here they broke structure here. Can you see this? This is a break of structure. But they've not broken this structure. What they just broke was internal structure break was happening here. So when they did this internal structure break, what do we have here? Can you see this? Can you see this? Let me show you something here. Here's a monthly zone. Let me mark this so that this will be more brighter than the monthly zone, so that we know the one between monthly and. So these ones are, whenever you see the lines so bright, so that means they are liquidity zones, not monthly zones. Monthly zones are more dull and almost unseen. So you can see what we have here was a liquidity. QM. So if you look at this, this made a QM here broke structure, liquidity. What happened there? Right at which time was this? This was 1 o'clock. 1 o'clock, there's going to be a crash all the way to this level. They're going to retest this around this level. But I don't like going with all these guys. Where I will go to is this. This one, 1.3625 will be my. That's why I like marking my institutional levels. It's not for me to go here. Many people, what they will do is this. When they make a sell, because this is let me show you something. Let me show you how, if you come to this thing, you will see it here. Okay, let's go to, this one is a bit noisy. Can you see this? If you go to 2 hours, you see what happened here. You are seeing a QM. What they call this is QM, head and shoulder pattern. Head and shoulder pattern. They work in the markets. You might think they don't work, but they work. They work very well. They work on big candles, not on small candles, big candles. So what happened here was we had this high, this low, this high. We made this high first, but we now broke structure. This is an internal structure. This one you're seeing now is an external structure. This line you're seeing is for external structure. This line also is for, we all have an internal structure here. So when they broke structure here, what did we have here? Inverse head and shoulder. This is the shoulder. What do we have here? Liquidity. Right at 1 o'clock. 1 o'clock. So who saw that entry at 1 o'clock? If you saw that entry at 1 o'clock, you can put something in the comment section. Right at 1 o'clock, they came down. So are you seeing how GBPUSD can give you entries? Right? This is Asia time. Many people in Asia saw that. So this is Asia time. So I just wanted to show you something about that. So when I saw, this is what I saw first. Because when I saw this, that's why I say entries can come from chart patterns. Entries can come from anywhere. Understand? And also, what did we also observe here? We also observe that this is support broken to resistance. So this entry is valid. This entry is valid. This entry you're seeing here is valid. So is the support level broken to resistance? They are going to right to this 1 point. This 1.625 was not even arguable. So let's see what happened at 7 o'clock. So we're going to be analyzing entries next. So the next thing we're going to be analyzing is entries. Let's go to 1 hour. Let's go back to 1 hour. Let's go back to our 1 hour chart to see what's going on here. On the 1 o'clock, 1 o'clock is, we can't make entries from 1 o'clock, as I used to say. This is for swing traders. So let's go to 15 minutes. 15 minutes, 5 minutes, 1 minute. This is our entry. That's where our entries will be coming from. So we've done our analysis from all the way from the monthly. Can you see how we do this? We start from the monthly. We kept moving, moved to the 1 hour, moved to the 4 hours, moved to the 1 hour, moved to the 2 hours. Before we now, our entries based on the 15 minutes, 5 minutes, and 1 minute. 1 minute most especially. 1 minute and 5 minutes, especially that 1 minute. So now we can trade. Now we've seen this thing we can trade. So what did I observe first? What I observed first was this liquidity hunt. They hunted this inverse head and shoulder. This is a monthly zone. This is a liquidity zone. So what did I see here? Immediately I came and said, this was very easy. This one was the most easiest trading I've seen for a very long time. We had a break of structure here, another break of structure. So during this time, most of the time I'm sleeping during this time. So this is what I just saw in 50 minutes. I was seeing them making lower lows and lower highs just before 7 o'clock. You understand? So I come in at 6 o'clock. I come in at 6 o'clock to run all this analysis before I make my entries at 7 o'clock. Sometimes I come in at 5:30. I'm coming at 5 o'clock just to see what was going on. Because this market is still bearish. I'm still seeing some bearish pools. You can see this guy also is bearish. This new day is already bearish already. There's supposed to be more entries here. There's supposed to be a kind of an entry here. Can you see this inverse head and shoulder again playing out here, coming? So this is supposed to be another entry solution for sales. But we're going to come down to this. So what did I see here? I see we are making lower highs and lower lows over here. So what happened at 7 o'clock? 7 o'clock is when we make our entries. So I think we're going to make this video into two parts. We're going to be talking about the entry criteria. The first part is the analysis. Let me see if we can. We're going to be making this. So we've made the first part. The first part is just analyzing this move. So we're going to be making a second part. Thank you for watching.